Come on.
Let's get it on.
Natuwa yung mga gamit before.
Look, close part. Please.
Okay, siya po naglakas loob.
Up.
Sabilayin mo na tapos lumipad sa akin.
Yes!
Wow!
That's it. You guys stay here with me.
Ay, you're tired na.
That is about the best anyone does.
Okay, thank
Very
you.
good. Very, very good. Normally people are kind of, So, the job of Joseph, of Yusuf, in the New Testament is referred to by the Greek word tekton. And this comes from the same root as the word architect and the same root as the word tectonics. Tectonicos, tectonic plates, exactly. And really, it almost suggests more someone who works with stone. And you can see the tools he used to work with stone, piedra, behind you there. And Yusuf's job and Jesus' job, we can't know for sure, but if you look around here, there is a lot more stone than wood. There are not big forests here, like in Europe. Europeans heard these stories and said Jesus was a carpenter. But the reality is, here, probably they would have worked with stone. The name Yusuf means in Hebrew, God is building, God is adding. And so we like to say maybe that Yusuf and Jesus' job should be translated as builder, since we can't know what they built. But builder, constructor, maybe makes more sense. So, those of us on the left are going to come up this way. You're going to go right to the right here. When I was 14 and came here with my family, my brother and I helped carve these steps. We made these steps you'll walk up. And millions of people's knees suffer. Top step is difficult. Watch your head.
Dito ba? Okay, entrance here.
Watch your head down, watch your head.
Ano makikita ang iyong ulo? Ay, yung paggawaan ng ano. Ayun naman. Balabal. Shalom.
Shalom, ma'am. Shalom.
Shalom. Hinahabi niya.
Yung ano yung ano.
Balat ng ano yan, ng karnero. Balat ata yan ng karnero eh. Oh, daho. Yung ano. Gansilyo? Bakit may nagkahabi?
Sibuyas, granada ito.
Ginagawa niya ng damit.
Galing niya. Tapos nalagay niya dito.
All right.
Magiging.
Everyone say shalom to Hannah.
Shalom, Hannah.
How are you, Hannah?
Hello, good morning, Han.
Good to see you.
Me too. You're welcome.
Hannah is a great blessing to us here. So,
Oh.
this is our weaver. And this is where we're going to make shawls. Tejedora? Do you say something like that? Tejedora? For the weaver? No. So we shear the sheep before the hottest point in the summer so that they can cool off a little bit. And then we card the wool. We put the wool through this so that it is soft and we can work with it. Then, if we're going to dye it, we dye it. Most people, all the time, just wore the natural colors of the sheep. The normal colors of the sheep. But if you were wealthier, you could get a beautiful gray color from using nuts. You could get orange and red and pink from using pomegranates. Granada. You could get a wonderful green color by using olive leaves, hojas de olivos. You could get different shades of yellow from using onion skins. And very expensive. Anyone know how you get this?
Stone?
What is that?
Tain,
Saffron.
What's
Saffron?
What
maybe?
is that?
Saffron, very expensive. And the most expensive, the blues and purples of the emperors, the kings, the priests, emperadores, Sacerdote, sí. Tres. Anyone know how you get this?
No.
This comes from the bodies of thousands of sea snails. The animals inside. Not the shell, but the animals inside. Thousands of snails just to dye a little bit of clothing. It was very, very expensive. It came from the sea. Hannah is going to show us how she makes thread. So, this tool in her right hand is called a spindle in English, an uso in Spanish. Spindle. Because she spins it. And you can see she makes this thread. Her thread is strong. You cannot tell where one clump ends and the next begins. This is how everyone used to make thread. And she makes it very strong, but she cannot use it right away because it will not keep its shape. It will fold up. Yes, it will not keep its shape. And that's why she makes the balls. The balls set for 3 or 4 weeks. And at the end of that time, it will keep its shape.
It took a long time, long weeks.
Many weeks. Now, Hannah is going to show us how she weaves.
This side first and then.
Do you say teher or anything like that? Telar or teher? No.
I come to this side, just a minute.
So she takes the threads.
So. Wow.
Puts it behind. Now she'll show this side. She puts it through. She has this comb. There it
Talagang
is.
na-preserve nila, no?
And weaving is very hard. Hannah, how long did it take you to learn how to do this?
2018 years.
2018 years. She has been working for a long time.
2018 years.
Thank you so much.
I want to sorry.
Oh no.
Finish.
Well, she makes these wonderful shawls, which people put around their shoulders, and we sell them in our gift shop. And she uses the pieces at the bottom that are left over at the end to make the Barbie dolls of the first century. Toys that children
This is
would
the
play.
Barbie of the first
So
century.
thank you so much.
I want to thank you, David, and I want to thank you for visiting me. Nice to meet
Thank
you.
you. Nice to meet you too.
Have a good day, and God bless
And you too. God bless you.
Hannah loves us because Jesus loves her.
Oh, thank you. Amen. 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 You are born again?
No.
You believe in Jesus Christ?
Yeah.
Praise the Lord.
Thank you so much, Hannah. Let's carry on this way.
Hi, Stella Mira. Kumusta sis? Oh, tapos na kami.
Meron pa tayong isa pang room.
All right. Whoa. Wow.
Wow, foggy.
Where did Nazareth go?
We're in heaven.
We're in heaven.
We're in heaven.
Where's Jesus Christ?
Where's Jesus? Why is it just us? Because of the staff. Where's Jesus?
Where's Jesus?
We're going on to the synagogue. Yeah, I have one more. We came outside and I said, "Whoa, the fog! Where's Nazareth?" And she said, "We're in heaven." Yeah. Ooh, heaven.
But where is Jesus? Hi.
What is your work?
A caregiver here,
Oh yes, you said.
taking care of all the people.
Okay.
This is the last room.
This is the last room? Well, I guess there's one short room down there.
Ah, okay.
Are you looking forward to the end?
Yeah.
All right. Well, you all can fill on in.
Okay.
Welcome to our synagogue.
See, this is synagogue.
This is one of the only full-size replicas of a first-century synagogue here in the Holy Land. There are not very many. The mixture that holds together the walls, the cement on the walls, you can go in and sit on the sides. You can sit on the sides.
Okay, sit on the
Mixture
side.
that holds together the walls and the floor,
Sit on the side.
the seats, and the plaster on the walls inside are all made of a mixture. The floor, the seats, and the walls are all made of a mixture. And the mixture is ash, maybe
and
ceniza, is the Spanish word. Lime, cal is the Spanish word. Water, earth, and straw. Caca is the Spanish word for straw. I don't know if any of those are similar. You are welcome to sit on the sides if you like. Everyone come on in, my group. The synagogue has 7 stone pillars. And the number 7 is holy in the Jewish religion.
yeah.
The synagogue has a roof with many beams of wood, with wood going side to side. Do you remember what I said about wood earlier in the tecton place? There's not very much wood here. Not very much.
Right.
So in that time, there would have been less. There would have been fewer beams of wood. But we have a lot of wood here for modern safety standards. We don't want the papers in Manila tomorrow to say 30 people dead in the blacks in Nazareth, Israel. That would be very bad. So we have wood up there to keep you and me safe. There is also, on top of that, a roof made out of earth, of soil. 3 layers of soil. And that roof made out of mud, of dirt, is why in Capernaum, where Jesus began his healing ministry, they had to dig through the roof. To get through a roof like this, you would have to dig. And they dug through the roof, and then they lowered a paralytic man, a paralyzed man, down through the roof. And the wood had to be further apart to lower a man down through. Do you understand?
Yeah. This
So
happened in the Bible.
This is how we can understand that story a little bit, thinking about this roof. Hopefully after he was healed, he could help fix the roof. It would have been very expensive to make a roof like that. Would have been difficult. We have high windows, and the windows allow the heat to rise and go out in the summer. In the summer, everyone is very hot and tired, and you come in here and everyone is very fresh and nice. Good to be back here. Because it's nice and cool. The windows are wide on the inside and narrow on the outside. And that lets in as much light as possible while still keeping this building temperature controlled. It is warmer in here in the winter, and it is cooler, much cooler in here in the summer, which is very good. So, after beginning his ministry in Capernaum, Jesus returned here to Nazareth, to his hometown. And he would have participated in the Sabbath service. And in the Sabbath, they took the scrolls out. And the scrolls were kept in jars like this in this back room. And in the Sabbath service, there were 3 parts. First, a reading from the Torah. The Torah is the first 5 books of the Bible. And then, a reading from the scriptures, the writings. And this is, another part of the service. And then, after that, there was some kind of a sermon. So Jesus read in the synagogue that day from a passage in Isaiah. And he read from the place where it says, "The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, for he has anointed me to bring good news to the poor. He has sent me to proclaim release to the captives and recovery of sight to the blind, to set the oppressed free and to declare the year of the Lord's favor." And then he rolled up the scroll and gave it to an attendant to put away and sat down. And he said to everyone, "Today this scripture is fulfilled in your hearing." And to the Jews, this scripture was about the Messiah, And so he was claiming to be the Messiah in saying this. And they were very excited there in Nazareth. And they were also doubting. They were also not sure, because we don't read about any miracles at all happening in the community of Nazareth here in Jesus' entire life. So they were wondering, why not here? Why not us? Why didn't Jesus do anything here in Nazareth? Jesus then said some things that made them really angry. He said, "Surely you will say to me, 'Physician, heal thyself.' A doctor should be able to heal himself if he's a good doctor. A miracle worker should be able to do a miracle. You'll expect a miracle from me, like you've heard about in Capernaum. But I tell you, no prophet is welcome in his hometown." And then he talked about two stories in the Old Testament. He talked about Naaman of Aram. Aram is today Syria. So Naaman was a Gentile. He was not a Jew. And he was in an enemy country sometimes an enemy. And not only that, but he was in the army. He was a military commander. And Naaman was visited by a prophet. And Naaman was also a leper. He had this problem, leprosy, where you have a skin problem. And Naaman asked the prophet to be healed of his leprosy. And though there were many lepers also in Israel, Naaman was healed. The prophet healed Naaman and made him well. Then Jesus talked about a widow in Sidon, what is today Lebanon. Also a Gentile, also sometimes an enemy nation. And this widow was in a time of great famine, hambruna in español, a time where everyone was hungry. There was no food throughout all the land. And the widow was visited by a prophet as well. And the prophet asked her for food. And she said, "I have only enough food for one meal for me and my son, and then we will die." And the prophet asked her for that meal, and she made it for him. And after this, she was blessed with a miracle. And she had endless flour and oil. So these stories were stories of Gentiles, people who were not Jews, who were showing faith and receiving grace from God. And these stories were not what Jesus' audience wanted to hear. They had been oppressed for hundreds and hundreds of years by different empires. The Roman Empire, and before that, other empires had killed them and taxed them, taken their things, and were very bad to them, and trying to destroy their faith, their religion. So, the community in Nazareth was very angry with Jesus, and they took him out to throw him off a cliff. And this means they were going to stone him to death, like we talked about in our third room earlier on. They were going to kill him with stones. But Jesus passed through the crowd. He left Nazareth. He never, ever came back. He never came home. He ministered throughout the Galilee and to Jerusalem. And in Jerusalem he was crucified, and he died, and he was resurrected and came back. And he commissioned his followers to live his kingdom and what he taught, and to teach throughout the world. So we hope you have felt commissioned here today, and that you have enjoyed your time here at the village. Thank you for visiting. We will come outside. Thank you. Yeah.
What's the story again?
So every single day that I have done this tour, every single day this year, I have seen the Mount Precipice out there. And at the end of this room, I point out to everyone the Mount Precipice. But today, you cannot see it.
Yeah, what's the story there?
The Mount Precipice is the traditional place where they say they took Jesus to throw him off. But they probably did not, because the Mount Precipice is a farther distance than you can walk in one day on the Sabbath. On the Sabbath, you are not allowed to walk that distance. So probably they took him to a cliff somewhere closer. But many tourists visit the Mount Precipice.
Yeah,
And it is a place where we remember. Where we remember this.
Yeah. Cool. Ooh, cool.
Well, thank you all for your patience. I think maybe
Wow.
Finish now.
Finish.
Where are you going next?
Next, I don't know. Maybe in I can't remember. Downstairs. We're going to.
We're going into a very short room here. So most of you all come from one church or from different churches?
From different church.
Okay.
Christian and born again and Catholic. Okay.
Uwian na. Ang makapag-CR.
Finish.
Dito pa tayo.
Every day. Hundreds.
This is where we belong.
Mayroon pa pa na. This is the last station.
This is the last room.
Last room. Okay.
Cantonese.
One more.
How do you say thank you for your patience? Salamat po.
Salamat sa pasensya.
How do you say?
Pasensya. Sa pasensya. Patience. Pasensya.
Salamat po, patience.
Pasensya.
Tagalog ng
Pasensya?
patience.
Yeah.
Pasensya?
Okay.
Salamat sa pasensya.
Sa pasensya.
Yeah.
Salamat po sa pasensya.
Yun.
Salamat sa
Thank
pasensya.
you so much. Nain ko kanina ang star.
Hebrew na yun ah. Sadara pa sa plano.
Word to word. Parang kasing tao, ginawa ko kanina. Kasi ka naman. Ito sa Nazareth Village.
Okay. We have just a very short final room here. We here at the village have really been growing. When I came here as a teenager, this was very small. There was only a little bit going on here, not very many guests. By the year 2015, we had 60,000 guests here in the year. Last year, we had about 95,000 guests here in the year. This year, we anticipate in total we will have over 117,000 guests. So we are growing, and we are very excited to see our ministry grow. We are inviting people to support. We are building a discovery center where we will be able to send out 2 tours going in different directions. We will be able to receive more people inside and educate more people inside. And we will be able to receive and host people who visit us. We rent this building right now, so we are building our own building, and we want to invite you to consider support. People from all over the world support our ministry here.
Thank you for visiting the Nazareth Village, a worldwide ministry from the hometown of Jesus of Nazareth. Our hope is that your visit today is a memorable one, that you saw the Nazareth that Jesus knew and heard Jesus' words and parables with greater clarity and meaning. The village is growing, and each year we welcome over 90,000 people from over 100 countries from all over the world, and an increasing number of local people of all faiths. Would you consider becoming a partner to the Nazareth Village and secure the future of this ministry by helping in a very real way and leave a lasting legacy? We plan to build a new Discovery Center, a state-of-the-art building which will accommodate our many visitors from around the world. Would you consider buying your own marble brick for the Discovery Center, inscribed with your name, or your family name, or your church? Leave a legacy in the Holy Land, in the hometown of Jesus, and help us secure the ministry of the village for generations to come, or until the Lord Himself returns. And we remember, every house is built by someone, but the builder of all things is God.
So, Also, thank you again for your visit. If you would like to support in our project, thank you, ma'am. We have papers outside here and outside our office that you can fill out. We will also have a brochure that has our website on it, and if you would like to give, you can do that on the internet. We are honoring gifts of $120 US dollars or more with a brick. So this is a brick, and you can put your name or your family name or your church or your group on it. It is a wonderful idea for Christmas. We are also going to give every one of you an oil lamp. This is a design that was very common in the 1st century. You can fill it with any kind of cooking oil, but maybe olive oil would be best. You can fill it with any kind of cooking oil, and then you must wait 2 hours for the oil to enter the wick, to go into this. And then you can burn it, and it will burn anywhere from 2 to 7 hours, depending on the guy.
Nice.
You train them. I'm not sure. Thank you so much for your visit.
Salamat.
Saloma ko sa
Pasensya. This is the end. Okay.
Thank you so much. Have a good one. Thank you very much. Yes, if you'd like to take a brochure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yep, absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.